Yo, 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 what's up, everyone? We are here for week 15, the BMO Playoff Edition. We finally made it. It's been a grueling 14 regular season weeks to get to this point, but we have got our 6 playoff teams ready to go for the BMO 2023 playoffs. Congrats to Joe H. and Heptig. They fought all the way through to last week to earn their spots, fending off all the competitors, and great job out of them. They truly earned it this year in the BMO. What else we got? Special shout out to Boy. Rallied in week 14 to earn the number 1 seed in the playoffs, ousting Leg Purnell. He really came down to the wire. That game was decided on Monday night this week. Boy also earned the high point total for the year. So he earned that title, and he is our number 1 point scorer for the regular season. Shout out, Boy. And of course, the last place penalty. Uncle Eddie could not get past Gus in week 14, and he has earned the last place penalty for the 2023 season. He will be opening up Uncle Eddie's hand-squeezed lemonade sometime next summer. The date's to be determined, but he's got to earn himself $25, so it might take him a couple times. He might just stay out there, keep the stand open. I don't know, but we're gonna have a lot of fun trying to figure that out next summer. We're gonna look ahead at next week's matchups. We got 2 big matchups coming up. We're gonna jump into those in just a minute.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tall Kid coming at you for a special NCAA Bowl edition. This is one of 2 or 3 weeks of bowl games that we have. They start out with the absolute worst bowl games and work their way up to the championship. So what we have on the slate this week is slim pickings, but we're going to do our best. We've gone 7-1-1 in our last 3 weeks. That's pretty good. And we'll try here, but again, I let's not hold too much stock in bowl games. But let's get after it. All right, first game on the docket, we've got the New Mexico Bowl, and it is New Mexico State versus Fresno State. I think this is on home turf for New Mexico State, so that makes it a lot easier. New Mexico State is a 3.5 point favorite. They're 10-4. Fresno State's 8-4. How do we not bet the home team? I think we're definitely going to do that. If we look at any stats, which I don't really care about, New Mexico State is 4-1 as the favorite, and they're 4-0 when they are the favorite between 1.5 and 5.5 points. So all points here, all signs here point to New Mexico State. All right, second game we got on the docket is the LA Bowl, UCLA Bruins versus the Boise State Broncos. The Broncos are a 4.5 point dog here. I actually like them to win the game outright, so to me it's definitely easy, but Boise State's 8-5. They have a better record than the 7-5 UCLA Bruins. Bruins are in the Pac-10. They don't play any kind of defense. I think Boise State is like 6-0 against the spread this year in college football as well. So here we go, Boise State. Okay, last pick here. We have the Independence Bowl. It's going to be the University of California versus Texas Tech. Both teams are 6-6. The over-under is 58, and they're saying Texas Tech by 3. I don't really care about the spread in general. Again, West Coast teams, both are terrible. Bowl games, all good. Nobody plays defense. Let's take the over 58 in this game. Good luck this week, gentlemen. Before I sign off, I just wanted to throw in a prediction on one of the two BMO playoff games this week, and that would be the game between myself and Joe H. Joe H is a 2.5 point favorite currently, so I'm going to pick the dog. I'm going to go with myself. I know that that's a surprise, and this is what I really think the game comes down to. Joe, you got much better running backs from me than I do. McCaffrey's makes it 3 running backs against 0, so huge advantage to you there. I think I've got you big time on defense. It's almost like I have 5 defensive guys to your 3. So I'll close the gap a little bit right there. But I think the game comes down to Dak Prescott and Stephon Diggs. Does Dak perform in Buffalo, away from home? And does Stephon Diggs come out of his slump? I really believe it's going to be those 2 guys that decide the game. So either way, great season, had a ton of fun. Good luck to you, Joe. And I hope that it's me sitting in the semifinals next week. Later, fellas.
What's up there, fellas? First and foremost, I want to thank Beans for having me on this special edition of the playoffs on the BMO report. First, I wanted to touch base on last week, which was a roller coaster of emotions for me. I didn't think I was going to even be in this position, so I feel like I'm playing with house money in a way. It could have went 2 ways. I could have had Tall and Big Mike win their matchups, and I didn't even need to win. Like the saying goes, if you want to get things done, pay somebody to do it. So that's what I did. I sold my soul to the devil, if you would say. I was sending Taco Bell and Crave cases to the Dolphin Stadium for Tyreek Hill to hope for some kind of explosive diarrhea to get him out of the game for a little bit. Was not expecting him to roll his ankle in the first quarter. I was kind of happy because I needed something like that to happen. I went to drastic measures as far as asking Uncle Eddie, who might be God, I don't know, to mortgage his kid's future and bet on Tyreek Hill and the Titans and the Giants. And I didn't know he was actually going to do it. So congratulations, Eddie, and you're welcome. But I got it done. Luckily, I guess. But we're here now. And now it's time for you, Tall, to fall. And it's a pretty easy matchup. You definitely got the edge on the receivers on me. Your running backs are pitiful, to say the least. You've lost 2 straight going into the playoffs, and I'm hoping that McCaffrey has a similar performance the last time he played the Cardinals with 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. That would be nice. I'm hoping my receivers can somewhat match yours. We'll see how things go. But it should be a close matchup. I played you 2 weeks ago and beat you by 40 points, but you were missing Diggs, and you played Tua. Now you got Purdy in there. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping that, to pull out the victory and move on to the semis. And, I'm excited. It's a playoffs time. Playoffs! But good luck to everybody out there, and may the best man win.
All right, here we go for week 15 and the opening round of the BMO playoffs. All the teams that have gotten this far have earned it with some ups and downs during the regular season. The road has not been easy, so congratulations. Playoffs are a different monster, though. These NFL games start to tighten up once we get around to December, so fantasy points are usually at a premium once we get around to here. We'll see how things shake out for these guys. We're going to break down both of our opening round playoff matchups. We're, of course, going to hear from Uncle Eddie. He's going to give us some insight into the playoffs as well and all his hot takes. He's going to continue with his NFL picks as always. He's also maybe going to give us a little insight onto what running lemonade stand is going to be all about. We'll see. But let's dive into our first matchup this week between 2 teams that are kind of going in the opposite direction as we approach the playoffs. Joe H makes his first career playoff appearance this week versus a Tall team who's lost 2 in a row. Tall's been a top team in the BMO all season behind some solid wide receiver play, while Joe H, after a slow start, has really caught fire behind Dak Prescott. Let's take a closer look at this big playoff matchup. At the QB position, Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy are pretty much deadlocked. I'll give a slight edge to Dak this week, who could get into a potential back and forth with Josh Allen and those Bills. If Tall has any chance of winning this week, his wide receivers are going to need to go off. CeeDee Lamb and Stephon Diggs will be counted on for 20-plus point efforts here. Joe H has some decent plays at wide receiver, but advantage Tall. Running back position is where things really could get ugly. Joe H has McCaffrey, and Tall doesn't have anyone on his roster that's going to match that production. If Colts running back Zach Moss has a spike game that people have been waiting for, Joe H really could roll this week. At the tight end position, TJ Hawkinson has been producing all year. Dallas Goedert is a little week to week at this point. Flex position is not looking strong for either team at this point. Both teams will be making dart throws with whoever they end up going with. Kicker and defense will be a slight lean towards Tall. His defense has been on point throughout the season. Moody for the Niners could kick 3+ field goals in a potential blowout versus the Cardinals. It's hard not to like Joe H here, though, who checks in at a 10-point favorite. With Dak and McCaffrey on an absolute roll, give me the hard man to move on to the semifinals in what could be a potential blowout. In our other opening round matchup, this one should be a hell of a battle. We got Dumpster Fire checking in at an 0-5 start, finds himself in the 6th spot. Great effort out of him to get there this year. He really battled all year and shows that no matter where you start, you can always battle back and get in the playoffs. Spoonie, on the other hand, has really had a solid team all year. He's been right at the top throughout. He had a great draft, put together a great squad, fought off some injuries throughout the season, and he's definitely earned his spot in the BMO playoffs this year. However, CJ Stroud, unlikely to play this week. It's not looking good for him. Luckily for Spoonie, he may have a plan B. Unlike our other matchup, QB may decide the winner of this one. With CJ Stroud unlikely to play, Spoonie can turn to Matthew Stafford, who has a very friendly matchup versus the Commanders team who can't stop anyone. Jordan Love gets Tampa Bay, who could also provide some solid points, but give me Spoonie here with Stafford's potential for 3+ touchdowns. Wide receiver can go either way with a San Francisco wide receiver on each squad. Whoever Purdy favors this week could be the difference maker. It's been Deebo Samuel the last 2 weeks, so Brandon Ayuk could be due. Michael Pittman Jr. and Amon St. Brown have both been awesome this year for Heptig. Slight edge to him at the wide receiver position this week. At running back, Spoonie has 2 guys that I would love to have as my starting backfield in the 2024 season. Rachaad White's been huge, and Derrick Henry is still finding the end zone. But give me Bijan Robinson versus the Panthers and Kyron Williams versus those Commanders this week. Trey McBride has come up huge and has been putting up high-end wide receiver 2 numbers at this point. Give me his upside over Dallas's Jake Ferguson at the tight end position. Both teams start a solid running back at the flex position. I think the use of the running back and getting the guaranteed touches are smart plays for both guys. Heptic may have a small edge with DeAndre Swift getting the reeling Seahawks on Monday night this week. Defense and kickers are interesting here. Brandon Aubrey was a monster last week. Each squad uses a completely different type setup on defense. You got Heptic using D linemen mostly, and Spoonie goes with cornerbacks. Both teams basically looking for that big play potential. I'm pretty torn on this one. I will take Spoonie because of the strong running back matchups he has this week, but this one should be tight and probably within 5 points, and we're going to get a hell of a matchup in this one for the BMO first round.
What's up, guys? This is Uncle Eddie of Uncle Eddie Says. It's the week 1 of the playoffs of the BMO, the Fantasy Football League. Very exciting time. 8 teams missed, but yet I'm still getting texts from one guy wondering if he should add or drop players in a meaningless fucking game. Guys, this goes to what I said last week. There's a basic fantasy etiquette. The 8 teams that are out, do not add or drop players. I don't care if you only have one healthy running back. I couldn't even tell you who on my team is healthy right now. If you want to set a lineup with the players you have, go right ahead. Otherwise, stay the fuck off the waiver wire. I also have to offer an apology. The reason the broadcast is coming at you so late this week is because we had an unexpected death in the family. I'm actually kept the black on, though, just to represent the death of my fantasy season, not just in the BMO, but in all leagues. I'll tell you right now, Joe Mixon can go suck a dick because he eliminated me in 2 leagues 2 weeks ago. Anyway, picks coming up next. All right, guys, so 2 very good playoff games. I think the right 6 teams, for the most part, did make the playoffs this year. It's rare, but I think we have a good group of 6 for the playoffs. Not saying that there weren't a couple good ones that missed, but the 6 that made it deserved it. The first game, Joe H against Toll. I think the key in this game is going to be if Dak has a big game, is he or is he going to not be throwing it to CeeDee Lamb? Probably is, so maybe advantage Toll. I do like 2 things I see on Joe H's team. Number 1, Metcalf is getting hot, and I do like the OBJ start. I just feel like it's getting toward that time of year where he's going to be looking to see if he can put up some numbers and get a big contract next year. But I'm going to do Joe H a solid here. I know how he feels about my picks. Let's see. I'm going to take Toll by 5. What's up, guys? This is Uncle Eddie of Uncle Eddie Says. Game 2. 2 games, 2 teams that I really hoped would meet each other a little later in the playoffs. I feel they're 2 of the best teams in the league. I think both managers have really done a good job this year, especially Heptig, who not only fleeced me in a trade to get Henry and Ayuk. He's been a fucking beast on the waiver wire. Again, a lot of players I dropped, but regardless, he's put together a real solid squad. He's red hot right now. You guys know I love Cadge's team. CJ Stroud out, but he still filled him in with Stafford and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Deebo Samuel. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game and as close to a pick 'em as you can get. I don't see anything in the matchups that scare me defensively to think either one of these teams won't put up big weeks. It's going to be a pick 'em. I'm going to go with Heptig by maybe even less than 2, just because his team's been so red hot. Good job this year, fellas, and good luck in the playoffs. Week 15 NFL picks coming at you. I got a few that are going to surprise you, I think. Rough one last week. Hopefully you guys on the BMO exclusive chat at least saved yourself when I nailed the fucking Titans and the Giants on the Moneyline special. Probably saved a week if you did. Anyway, this week, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I like the Pats +8 at home against KC. KC is in complete disarray. They started the week by yelling about the refs. They ended the week with Kelsey on his podcast talking about the media, bashing them. They deserve to be bashed. They've dropped more fucking passes than anyone in the NFL, or at least close to it. They're not playing like a good team right now. And the Pats at home getting 8 with Belichick might just frustrate them enough to cover that. I like the Bears +3 against the Browns. I think they're playing good football. I think they're going to cover the 3 points. The last game, I know everybody's big on the Ravens and maybe losing faith in the Jags, but I like the fact that they're giving the Jags the hook. They're +3.5. It sounds stupid, but at 3, I don't like it. I'm taking the Jags +3.5, though. This is Uncle Eddie saying if you don't like my picks this week, just wait till the playoffs.
All right, that's about going to do it for the Week 15 BMO Report, Playoff Edition. Thanks to all our contributors. Joe H., appreciate the stop by, giving a little insight. Tall, as always, great picks. He's going to continue to throw his bowl picks out there, so stay tuned. Uncle Eddie, as always, top-notch, grade A performance. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. Enjoy the football all weekend. You stay classy. Christmas is upon us. It's a good time of year. Stay merry, stay bright. We'll see you soon.
Okay, let's go.
bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!